introduce somebody to you today. A young man who is a role model also for other young people in terms of making sacrifices and advancing the causes of others. Our graduates really wanted to hear something from him today, and we'll call on him to make a few remarks to them. I am talking about Mr. Benjamin Sanvee, who is a Liberian, a young Liberian. He graduated from Cathedral High School. He obtained a BA in Political Science from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. Mr. Sanvee gained prominence in Liberia when he delivered what was described as one of the most inspirational speeches at the National Conference on the Future of Liberia in 1998. At the conclusion of the conference, with a unanimous consensus from his peers, Benjamin was appointed by the President of Liberia to serve as the youth advisor to the government at the age of 17. He served in this capacity for 1 year. Mr. Sanvee has championed the fight to place the causes of youth on national and international platforms. Mr. Sanvee is the current chairman and founder of NuVsionPAC, a non-profit and non-partisan political and socially driven grassroots movement that empowers Africa's youth to create social, political, and economic institutional change through grassroots mobilization. He also serves on the board of Face of Africa and is a devout Christian and a proud parent of a son, Benjamin III. Please welcome Mr. Benjamin Sanvee to the podium.
Thank you everybody. I normally don't get nervous when I'm about to say a few things, but I'm so nervous today because I'm so proud of this class. I'm so inspired by what I've heard, and my words, I'm so hopeful for Liberia. I want to thank the CDA community. I'm humbled and I'm grateful for being here today. I want to thank all of you for coming out today. Once again, it's good to be here, and it's so refreshing to see the new faces of Liberia. It's so refreshing to see the Liberia that we all dream about. The new Liberia. And I want to give a special recognition to Miss White for your inspiration and your leadership and guidance at this amazing institution. Class of 2011, we all can see and envision a new Liberia because we stand on the shoulders of giants like Miss Mighty White. So please give her a hand. Now, obviously, I want to congratulate you, the class of 2011, on your amazing achievement today. And I ask you to give me a little bit of time as I speak to my young brothers and sisters. I want to thank the faculty, the parents, the teachers, and everybody who have worked to get these amazing young people here today. Thank you for your hard work and your perseverance. And thank you for never giving up. Thank you. Please, thank you so much. We meet here today at a critical juncture in our country's history. At a crossroads of immense importance, not only because of this year, where we're about to have an election that will decide where this transition from one generation to the next ends, but also because of the importance of where our generation stands today. Dr. Martin Luther King once said, and I quote, that change does not roll on the wheel of inevitability, but it comes through continuous struggle. Since the inception of this great country, this country we all love, education has been used for both good and evil. Good in a sense that it has enabled us to reach this far as a people. and evil in that it has been used as a weapon to deny and silence the majority and coerce them into the submission and acceptance of the status quo of dominance. One may ask, how is it that we've changed so much and yet still has so much further to go? There are components in our history that cannot be forgotten and should not be forgotten. As we stand here today, we see the very harvest of what an investment not in education has brought this nation. But it remains our responsibility as all of us as Liberians and friends of Liberia to rid ourselves of the old and negative ways of thinking. We must now envision a Liberia where every child must graduate from high school and go on to college at some level. And in this change process, we must see a new Liberia where every talent must be tapped and every dream having a potential. Education must become a national and natural civic duty. Those of us who have been blessed must now give hope to those who dare to dream. Because when the child in Hammersville Township in Grand Bassa County does not have access to a sound and a strong education, it becomes a stain on our moral conscience. Our responsibility is to study the past, appreciating the uniqueness of our future, appreciating the uniqueness of our cultures and our heritage, never forgotten where we've come from as a people, and believing that with hard work and perseverance, our future will be secure. Let us become students of history and not hostages of our past. We must now light that fire that will burn out ignorance that has killed this nation. We must move our nation forward with new ideas and creativity. Form a core reason why education cannot be on the sidelines of our national agenda. Every government has a responsibility to invest in the future of its people. And we all have our respective roles to play. So to the class of 2011, you are now entering into a changing world. One that continues to shrink with the invention of new technologies and breathtaking innovations. We live in the world of Facebook. We live in the world of Twitter, in the world of YouTube, where what you put on your Facebook page can hamper you from getting a job.
Hallelujah.
Some graduating classes have marched in calmer times, when things were most stable. When we could go to bed at night with our windows and our cars unlocked, and our fences a little lower, while others like you are receiving their diplomas today at a time of great uncertainty. The changes happening today cannot be stopped. When the very foundation of our existence as a nation is shaken, when the ideas of the past no longer finds resonance in our society, that is when a new generation is called upon to take us into the pantheon of greatness and to shape our future. Liberians must adapt to these changes. We cannot afford to be static. We must accept our responsibilities and fortify ourselves, as did earlier generations, to meet the test of our time. And education is what will allow us to get there. Our roles in society must transcend from what we do in our respective homes. We must adapt to the attitude of putting our country and our communities first, building on the pride that has sustained us and expanding on the vision that continues to guide us. We must let go of the quick fixes or the easy way out. For these directions displays a poverty of ambition. So class of 2011, I got some news for you. you fall in a generation with heavy negatives, where the basic premise and ideals that built this nation, like respecting our elders, someone older than you by a handle, and opening the door for somebody older than you, those things have vanished into thin air. Our generation has been raised in a popular culture that doesn't always value hard work and commitment. And a culture that instead glorifies easy answers and instant gratification. It's a culture that tells us that our lives should be easy, that suffering and struggle should be avoided at all costs without a whole lot of effort. Now, but we all know that life really doesn't work that way, because nothing built on a foundation of shame and deceit will stand against the winds of our struggles. We must seek lasting achievements over short-term gains, character over celebrity, and substance over appearance. Never compromise your values or your ideals. Have a sense of pride in your community. Accept the challenges of your time and never allow complacency to creep in. That change can indeed come from the bottom up. Today we are plagued with a generational curse of greed and corruption in our society at all levels. Our young people languish around hopelessly, trying to find a direction of where to go. An entire generation has been lost as a result of a senseless civil war. Our leaders must stop worrying about winning the next election. And yes, I'm so sorry the guest speaker is not here because he's a candidate. But they must stop worrying about winning the next election. All of them. Every single one of them. Both the opposition and the incumbent. They must focus on building strong and vibrant institutions that will outlive them. For an election will only last a day. But our challenges will always be here, staring us in the face. We also live in a time when tough decisions and choices are being passed on to the next generation, our generation, where our leaders are focused on short-term gains and have lost every sense of direction, forgetting to know that we will judge them for what they build and not what they destroy. Look back in history. The leaders whom we revered, who we love, those leaders who inspire us, are the ones who've put their people's interests before their own. Men and women who saw no boundaries to what was possible. That is the true character of perseverance. That is how you measure the success of a leader. Our responsibility to our nation must go as far as holding these very leaders accountable, demanding from them the transparency and accountability that we deserve. Because when we do not pay close attention to the decisions that have been made by our leaders, when we fail to educate ourselves about the major issues of the day, when we choose not to make our voices heard, and when our opinions are silenced, that is when our democracy breaks down. That is when power is abused. That is when the most extreme voices in our society fill the void that we leave. That is when greed and corruption and all of the negative things that we hate to talk about and hate to even think about finer footings in the system and eats up the fabric of our very society. For too long, we have been bogged down with the same old arguments, becoming complacent and accepting mediocrity. Because if this government did not build this road, so this government should do it halfway. If a school wasn't renovated, so don't do it. And what's the popular Liberian saying? Oh, J.J. Roberts didn't fix this country, so we're not going to do it. Never willing to question the status quo. For 160 plus years, we've done things the same way, and for some reason have expected a different result. The time has come for Liberia to show off its best. And class of 2011, that best lies in you. It lies in what you have learned within the walls of CDA. The simple premise of not giving up. That with all of the challenges we face as a nation, the measurement of our resilience as a people is at an all-time high. Our true genius lies within our ability to adapt to the circumstances of our environment. And today, we not just celebrate your achievements, but the achievements of all of those who've come before you. Those who have poured everything they've had into you. To your parents, your teachers, and all of those who have made possible and giving you the opportunities that they who have never imagined for themselves. Now, with all of the progress that you have made and that you have achieved, I know for so many of you this journey hasn't been easy. We live in a country where only a few of us have a chance to dream. Where in some communities the pressures of today's reality is a permanent mirror in our faces. Where well-meaning but misguided people question whether a girl should go to school or even dare dream of something other than being a housewife. But you always believed in yourself and wanted something more. Just like the first seniors of this institution. Something inside of you drove you to set your sights higher. But now, after all you've done to get this far, after all of your achievements and your struggles, a new set of challenges awaits you. And it can start to feel like each time you've overcome one obstacle and achieved something big, another obstacle is right there to take its place. The bar is set. And then you work as hard as you can to reach that bar, and just when you think you finally reached it, that bar moves even higher, even further out of your reach. And I know that that can be frustrating, but never give up. Never be satisfied. Always plan to outdo your last body of work, for it is never completed. Have a willingness to follow your passion, whether it will lead to fortune or fame. And have a commitment to doing what helps others and what makes a difference in this world. Remove yourself from the time that we live in. Remove any yoke that might seem to hold you back and create opportunities that will make you succeed. Go out class in 2011. Go out and study medicine to resurrect our healthcare system. Go out and study aviation to fly for a Liberian airline one day. Go out and study business to start a company and become an employer to grow our economy. Go out and study architecture and engineering to design and construct our roads and bridges while laying the foundation on which our new cities will be built. Go out and become champions of change. Remake the Liberian dream, one that we can all be proud of. Go out and change the world. Congratulations.
Okay, we will now ask if there's any parent who wants to make a remark on behalf of the parents. Any parents? Somebody wants to?
Watching TV. Needless to say, when my mother came home, I went to bed about my dinner. Anyway, I want to speak on behalf of my mother because I know the place here right now is not easy. Not being able to be here today, she's had to call a whole family breakfast and 25 members of family just to be there for her to get through this moment. And you know what, Al? We're proud that you made it. And we thank you for making us proud. I know there were times when even you doubted yourself, but I never stopped believing in you. I know there were times when everybody else may have doubted you, but I know you never stopped believing in yourself. You like to act like maybe